Hi everyone, my name is Dikshita Godpureti and I'm currently studying my Masters of Data Science in University of Adelaide. And today I want to present my research question on can a regional socio-demographic indicators predict a dietary health risk of an area. This is a data-driven approach to understand energy density from a grocery purchases. And I'm doing my research under Tara. I want to tell my background and motivation for doing this research project. The energy dense food are in higher in calories and low in nutrients, and this linked to the obesity and severe health risk. In England, like 63.8% of adults are overweight, and these statistics were proven from the UK government. Obesity rates have been increasing between 2016 to 2023, which you can see in the graph which is in left side. Understanding this behind unhealthy trends is very important. So for that, I have chosen the socio-demographic variables to understand this trend. In In this slide, I want to tell why this research matters. Like in a previous slide, I mentioned it like the energy dense food is majorly linked to the obesity as per the UK government statistics. I want to know the regions where this energy dense food is consumed more. It helped the government to identify the regions and create some awareness programs. This insight directly support my research, which links to social demographic patterns to health outcomes. The main objective of my presentation is like how I have combined a different data set together to identify the social demographic variables and how I've used the linear regression method for identifying the variables which are highly correlated to the energy density and how I visualized those results for a better clarification. Which I have used. The dataset which I have used was the Tesco grocery dataset. This includes over 420 million food items brought by 1.6 million shoppers across the Greater London. The data set shows the average calories and the nutrients for each local level. Have chosen the MSOA. In this MSOA region, there are people of 7,000 to 8,000 people. For me, the energy density is a key variable used to represent how calorie rich food was purchased, and the energy density was calculated in kilocalories per gram. This helped to reveal where the people buy more energy dense food, linking our grocery behavior to the local diet health patterns. The map shows the actual energy density of our various regions in London. So the darker regions, which are the outside regions, have more energy dense food. The lighter yellow areas have the lower energy density, where people buy more nutrient rich and lighter foods. The highest energy density purchase are mainly seen in the outer southern parts of London. So this suggests that the food choice vary by location, possibly linking to income demographic or access to healthy food. As I mentioned it in my title slide about the socio-demographic variable, I want to have more socio-demographic variable. So I have chosen the other data set called a London MSOA Atlas dataset that includes a population and age structure, income and deprivation, employment and education, health, housing, and environment. This dataset helps link social demographic patterns with the energy dense food purchases from the dataset. By combining both dataset, we can explore how demographic factors can help in identifying the energy density across the London. And why these socio-demographic factors matters. According to the studies conducted in UK, found that the income, education, and family structure all strongly affect the health and the diet. And it also states that low income, less educated, and single parent households were more likely to have unhealthy diets and higher stress. People with the favored resources ate less fruit and vegetables and showed poor mental health and physical health. By this, I can say, by this research proves that some of the social demographic variables also affect the health patterns. From after integrating the different data sets, I got a different socio-demographic variables like average age, people density, total population ages 65 plus, male and female population counts, and also under language and culture, it is like percentage of adults 16 plus with English as a main language, percentage of households where no one speaks English, number of non-English speaking households. These are all the socio-demographic variables which I got from our different data set after they have been integrated. As I said, I have got a few of the socio-demographic variables. I want to know which socio-demographic variables are highly linked to the energy density. For this, I have conducted a linear regression which to find a socio-demographic variables. This is the equation which I have used in my regression model. I have fitted every socio-demographic variable. After fitting a regression model, when I have seen coefficients of that, I came to know that few of the socio-demographic variables are highly linking to the energy density. When we see this plot here, the blue one shows the positive socio-demographic variables, which are highly linking to the uh, energy density, and the red points which you are seeing are very lowly or negatively linking with the energy density. As I mentioned it, there are four predictors which are highly linking to the energy density. In that, the first one is the percentage of couple without a dependent children. The areas with more couple tend to purchase slightly more energy dense food, which is practically possible. And the population, the area with a larger population have slightly higher predicted energy density, possibly reflecting a diverse access to the food preferences. And the other variable is the households with no English as a main language, small positive effect but possibly linking to the culture or the traditional diets. So we can also see the negatively predicted variables as the average age and age 65 plus. By this, we can say that older people buy less energy dense food. There is an income, population density, and these are all remaining variables which links to a negative energy density. By this, we can say that the demographic structure, education, and local population characteristics all influence of food purchasing patterns. The key results from a linear regression is like the R square error is 0.40%. The model explains 43% of variation in the energy density. The strongest positive predictors are percentage of couple households with dependent children and apprenticeship qualification, and other factors had the smallest significance in effect. In this slide, I want to show you the actual predicted ED from a linear regression. We can see there were differently predicted energy density according to the regions. Some regions have lower energy density, some regions have higher energy density, and some of the regions have a moderate energy density. This shows that southern and outer London regions shown in a darker red displays higher predicted energy density, while the inner and northern London area show the lower energy density risk. I want to conclude that the model links the demographic to the energy dense food purchase across the London. It shows that the outer and the southern areas show higher predicted energy density with less healthy diets. younger and working households tend to buy more energy dense food. This finding can target nutrition programs in that area at greater dietary risk. In my future, I want to compare the predictor versus the actual energy density to test how accurately the model performs across the London and identify the areas where the energy density food is consumed more. Thank you for watching my presentation.